Hello, good afternoon, everyone. We should be live, as far as I can tell. Yes. Fantastic. Alright. Sorry about the delay today. My setup is completely scuffed right now. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm working around some limitations. If the volume is good, let me know. Especially today, because I can't really... I'm in a completely different setup. So I'm a bit further away from the microphone. So if anyone could tell me if my voice is too quiet or too loud or something like that, let me know and I can adjust like the music and try to get everything working. I've turned up the gain a little bit, but that usually leads to bad results in this mic. So yeah, let me just get up the chat. We should be good. Let's see, top chat. We want, on my other computer, live chat. So yeah, just let me know, anyone who sees this at any point, if I'm too quiet, too loud. So yeah, we're just gonna get back into what we were doing yesterday. I have done a little bit more research, but I did mostly maths in between streams. So yes, we're back here. Hi Kalia. Yeah, could you let me know if the audio is good? If you could do me a huge favor, that would be fantastic. Just say yes if you can hear me or something like that. That'd be fantastic. But you know, if not, if you can't, let me know and I'll so yeah, so anyway, I'll just assume it works for now, and we'll just continue on what we were doing yesterday. So the couple of things that we were doing yesterday were, I had to stash because I completely broke everything. I will be, I've lost all my tabs. Perfect, right, fantastic. Right, so we're gonna go to the classic, the all-time classic, Learn OpenGL. Cyberpunk indeed. I heard this what is it called? I heard the battle music and I was like, I've got to play this today. I just want to feel like a cool hacker dude today. So the first thing we're going to do is fix some overdraw performance issues that are going to be caused by drawing the skybox first. We should be drawing it last. Which shouldn't be an issue at all. We just need to move this to the bottom. Assuming we turn depth off. You've been listening, it's yes. Good taste. It's the first time I've heard it, to be honest. It's really it's making me want to play the game. So we have a bunch of overdraw at the moment. So we're going to debug this and just see if set the clear value not to black so we can actually see if it's working. I'll set it to white and we'll very much be able to see if the skybox is drawing. Yeah, so we're going to be like cool hacker dudes today with our more edgy music. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of with drawing. So it looks like we have got to have depth on. So we're trying to eliminate the fragments that we're not gonna. Basically, if we do it in the other order, the early depth test in the pipeline ends up excluding a bunch of stuff that we don't have to draw twice. So I'm just gonna go to our pipeline and just see if turning depth on is a good idea. So that's going to be on. So we'll see. No, interesting. So we're just getting black. So I'm going to open render doc for this. I think this is a classic render doc situation. I think what ends up happening is we're overdrawing everything, but it's overwriting everything as well right at the end of the frame. So to check if that's even true, we gotta open render doc. Classic. So we'll see a bunch of stuff being rendered and then a black screen will be put on top. That's what we're looking for with this render doc. And then I'll investigate bit by bit what we end up doing. Do I want to update render doc now? Yeah, screw it. We can do that while we look at something else. It's yes, that's fine. So we'll let render doc update and we'll mess around with our code for a minute while that's going on. So the other thing I want to fix is, oh, you have good news. Fantastic. What's your good news? Love to hear it. Hopefully it's good. So what I'm doing here is just changing all the bindings from 0 to 1 again. I think I did this in the live stream, but I kind of went back and because I had to git stash because I absolutely broke everything. So this is an easy fix that we can do while render doc is installing in the background. Take us no time at all. Right, so just change the variables. I might fix that as well if render doc takes a bit longer. And so this is just changing the descriptor set binding. Nothing insane, pretty basic, pretty easy. And that should be it as far as I can tell. There should be 2 changes, 4 changes in the shaders, yes. Alright. Apple is looking for graphics developers. Metal. Oh, interesting. Ah, that's what broke it. Interesting. Right, okay, so we'll move back for a minute because I don't really care that much. So do you know, unfortunately, Metal is a bit different from Vulkan. Might be worth looking into it though. For me, I don't know if are you gonna give it a shot, Kalia? I know you're just learning C++ still, which is honestly a really good idea. I've heard Metal's really nice to use because it has a limited amount of hardware. But yeah, I could definitely look into that. So no, okay, so we're back to normal. Is render doc finished? Yes. All right, so let's load our thing into render doc. Render doc. There we go. And as you would expect, I have to disable all our validation once again. So there's some bad assumption there, which I need to look into. For some reason, when I set the binding to 1, it says, oh, I think I changed the wrong variable. Hang on, I know what's going on. But we'll do this render doc. Oops, I need to put this in debug. Release. There's no point doing render doc on a non-release build. That's fine, this doesn't take too long. Okay, so release build, and we haven't updated the shaders, so it should work. Let's go to our build folder with release in. Oh, and just for people who are wondering, not that anyone asked, but I'll say it anyway. I have been consistently keeping this engine up to date on Linux. It's not been an issue. Everything I've had to do on Linux recently has been just a couple of changes, and it just works just as well as on Windows. So still developing majority my time on Windows and then porting the changes on Linux. Nothing's gone wrong with Linux, so looks like we're done here. Okay, fantastic. let's load that in. Okay, so give it a launch. Capture a frame. Ooh. Hello. Render dock. Okay, there we go. Bit of a lag there. Don't know what that was about. Oh, really interesting. Whoa. Render dock GP. It lost the logging device fatal. It lost the device. What that means for people who don't know is when it tried to basically replay the commands that we submit to the command buffer, it lost connection to the graphics card briefly. That's what the device is in Vulkan words. Well, I'll have to look into that then if the Apple recruiters are trying to hunt us down. Yeah, that'd be interesting to at least look into it. Because it would be nice to have a job, considering YouTube doesn't pay. I mean, in theory it pays, but I'm not anywhere close to that point yet, really. I won't go into it, but it's there's some criteria I'm not hitting to be even monetized. It would be curious to see how much I end up making, like if I was to make like 1p a day or something, or like 1p a month. That'd be interesting. Like what do the smallest YouTubers make? Be interesting to find out. Okay, enough of that. So I put this here. Oh, did I fall out the main loop? Hang on. No, this is the main loop. What have we got here? So we've got the skybox, pipeline. Okay, let's just comment out the skybox and just see if everything comes back. So render dock is not being useful at all. I think what I'll do is I'll reboot render dock. I think render dock, that update didn't either it broke it or it needs to be closed properly and opened properly, like by me. Because I need to go in admin mode, so yeah, to run this application at least. Yeah, great opportunities, 100%. If I can get in there, it'd be a fun interview process, I imagine. So I haven't compiled that, I don't think. I'm just going to assume I haven't. So load settings. Yeah, you don't have any graphics. But yeah, you'd fail. So that makes sense. I was just curious if you were interested. Okay, cool. So that was the issue. I think it booted not in admin mode, which for me, because my computer is not in admin mode to begin with, it kind of render dock can't access anything. So here we go. So do we draw? We clear the background to white. We draw the. This is exactly what I expected. We do the spheres. Then we color the whole thing in black. Right. So this is exactly what you would expect if you were drawing everything in black. I'm interested to see what these. Oh, they're just IMQE. Okay. So that's clearly not right. So we do want to do this last because it. I think this speaks to the errors that I'm having, maybe, as well. Okay. So this is the classic, the all-time classic. Learn OpenGL. This is if you wanted to do it, if you wanted to render an OpenGL, I still think this is a fantastic resource. But it's also a fantastic resource because for like non-programmers in OpenGL, because the fundamentals are still the same. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and look for today, is just... So it is turning off depth here. Okay, so let's turn off depth then for this graphics pipeline. Okay. Oh, I didn't announce my... I don't think I even announced that I'm streaming. Sorry, the setup is... No, I did. Okay. I don't know why I forgot briefly there. No, I did. Okay, fantastic. Right, so let's disable depth for a minute. And that should... So I know I should be clamped to edge, not repeat now. I did learn that. So there's no depth here in this pipeline. Which, okay. Trying to think, what else would be the issue? Let's have a stretch while we compile. Now, obviously, that's not going to work, because that's how it broke originally. But let me think. It feels like there should be depth, but apparently there's not depth in this. So I'm effectively stuck in a cube. Let's okay. What I'm going to do is temporarily also disable the transformation locking, so we can actually get out of the cube and break the illusion. You know, if there was one to begin with just a black background anyway. And what I'm going to do is just swim around and just see how this is working. Okay, so we're basically in this black void, which is not what I want to do, obviously. So I'm basically in there the whole time, but it shouldn't be. It should be the other way around. It should be, instead of, you see, we can see through this. Let me turn off debug rendering for a minute. Okay, so is my lighting working? Yes. So, alright, let's go a bit slower. Okay, so it looks like the cube is rendering on top of everything. I want it the other way around. So that we shouldn't be able to see that through this piece of geometry here. So yes. So I'm going to keep this off for a minute because that's actually quite useful. Interesting. So going back to our legacy legendary tutorial, we have depth is definitely off here, and then it has the view projection in Matrix 3. Now, why does it do that? I can't quite remember. I think it simply just gets rid of the translation. Yeah, it removes the translation from the matrix. The 3x3 upper. So what am I doing with the... I mean, I could do that, but it's a bit different, I guess. Excuse me. So I'm going to try this because it's not something I've tried. I don't think it's going to do anything, but I just want to see how the box responds to that. Because what I'm doing is I'm excluding the rightmost column of the matrix. So like 0, 1, 2. Sorry, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3 in a 4x4 matrix is the rightmost column. So the third column. I'm zeroing out that because that's where the translation lives. It's the last column. It's actually one of the cool things about a transformation matrix is it's very easy to pull out the translation. It's just literally the last column. Minus the 1 at the end because that 1 is to keep things homogeneous. And I can't exactly remember if I'm using the... So I'm not sure if I'm using the bottom row. So column 1. So instead of like... I don't know, you know, 3, 0, no, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, all that. I don't know if I'm actually using those values as part of my transformation matrix, so I'm just kind of curious here. If I write to this this matrix in the same way as the tutorial, what is the result of that? So this is the texture handle. Interestingly, I use a buffer device address here, so that would break everything else. That's not ideal. But I think it's still, what I still can do is, I can do it in the shader perhaps. So we have a map 4. So you wouldn't want to really do this in the shader, I don't think. So map 3. Now I want to change this to, see if I go to a map forecast. I just see does this return anything that makes sense? View P mats 3. Right, does that compile? Oh, we'll know immediately because the shader won't compile. Okay, yeah, it does. And then we change this to a map 4, so we cast this back out again with a map 4. So this is happening per vertex, which is a little inefficient, but there's so little vertices in this, it's just a literal cube that I've hard-coded the vertices. There's not even an index buffer for this. Now I'm kind of curious, now I've done that, what the result is view projection-wise. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to see nothing again, but I just kind of want to see if it's the same results, right? Yeah, I think that's about the same, as far as I can tell. Throw this into render dock and we'll see the same old probably. What? Yeah, so we need to just capture a new frame. Oops. Launch, please. Oh. No, it's saying, do you want to save, isn't it? And I'm saying yes every time. Apologies. Capture frame. I wonder if anyone's... Well, I'm sure a lot of people save the frames, but I've just never seen a use for it. Yeah, it's basically the same. Boop, and then that disappears. Okay. It's effectively doing the same thing. I don't know how expensive this cast is, so I think this is potentially less efficient. I have no clue, though. I don't know what the execution mode is of these type of things, so I'll leave this is. It's kind of a nice note. Just gotta put that back. We'll disable this again so we can see, we can start debugging again. We will get this overdraw issue sorted so we can actually successfully get this working. Okay, cool. Right, so in comparison, I am kind of curious now. If I take all this, cut, and put this back where it was, out of curiosity. So depth is off. And what have we got? Yes, this is what I want, right? Where everything's behind the box. It does move, interestingly, the opposite as the view projection. But you can see the spheres are being drawn on top, which means when this is drawn, everything's like... But I want to... let me think. So I'm going to try something real quick. So this is the dock. Just scoot around. Now it does this. Do the debug spheres have? Yeah, they do. They have depth. So the yellow sphere is being drawn on top of everything. I think that's true from both sides. Which we can check, I think, from the one down here somewhere. Oh, it's a bit hard to see, isn't it? There it is. So, yeah. So it looks like from all sides it's being drawn. the depth is preserved, which is nice. I think that's what I wanted anyway, but so the depth is not preserved here. It's like it's like when I disabled the depth, I think what might be happening actually is my depth buffer is writing backwards. I'm using a reverse Z depth buffer, and I'm just wondering if when I set this up, I don't set up the depth buffer reverse Z wise, so it doesn't work. Something like that anyway, you know. Well, we'll find out, because I'll be able to change. There it is. See. So instead of less than or less, we use greater or equal, because if you do reverse Z, you end up on a better. Yeah, so that's the same here, and I don't think for the skybox we have that, because I just don't disable depth. So there's the debug. Where's the skybox? Skybox, yeah. So we want the skybox to have the same. So I think the fragment, not the fragments, the depth values have been incorrectly stored, I think. Nope. Hang on. Nope, it's still on top. What about any side? Let's see. No, this cube is still being drawn. Okay, let's turn on depth. I'm kind of curious now. Now we've actually corrected the depth. So again, we're on everything's equal or greater or equal. I think that's not default. No, because this is drawn last, so it should be drawn on top anyway. But so we're still that was incorrect anyway. Let me think. The depth test is wrong because right. So I really want that to be disabled. I want to draw this last to preserve the fragments and stop overdrawing happening. And for those who don't know, basically we've got a situation where we're filling in the background completely in its entirety. It's like painting a really detailed. Imagine painting a really detailed canvas picture of like the background scenery, and then putting like a human face right in the middle of it, right? So it's like, what was the point of drawing all the background scenery if you're going to put a human face right in the middle of everything? So that's what we're trying to avoid right now. We're trying to get it to only draw the parts that are going to be seen by the camera in that frame, and that is the motivation towards drawing last. But right now, it's instead of drawing where it should be behind everything, it's like drawing on top of everything. So we only want to draw in the spaces where everything is, but it's actually drawing on top of everything. If that makes sense, yeah, I think it does. It does to me at least. That's what I'm trying to explain it. Let's see here. We have a interesting setup. Why would this be happening? We do the perspective divide, I think, on the fragment shader. Yeah, we do. Okay. So the position is this. I wonder if this is not, if we're doing reverse Z, does this need to be negative or something? Like the position needs to be the other way around. Okay, so this is a bit of a random. I don't think this is gonna work, but Yeah, I had a feeling it would just be either in a completely different place or it just doesn't exist. Oh, I saw it. Where is that? Sorry, oh, there it is. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Why are you being here? But you're still drawing on top of everything, which is not what I wanted. Interesting. Okay, let's try. Alright. This is just literally setting the position. But I want to see what ends up happening if we do this. Okay, so there's the box. No, still not doing what we want. Alright, let's put this back to W, because that's what it should be anyway. So I don't think it's the position then. Next debugging thing that I want to try is... I have to admit, this music is making this seem extremely serious. I must solve this, otherwise the world will be destroyed. The killer cube. Yeah. So let's just read the optimization. Right now, we're rendering the skybox first. Rendering all things on this. This bit's great, but it isn't too efficient. This is what we're trying to solve, right? If we render the skybox first, let's turn this down a bit. It's got a bit loud for me, actually. There we go. I feel like if we render the skybox first, we're running the fragment shader for each pixel. Yeah. So it gives us a slight performance boost. If you render it last, the depth is completely filled. The scene, but we're getting the opposite depth though. Oh, I wonder if we need to store the depth buffer or something. At the end of the frame. Early depth, yes. I wonder if this needs to be negative. The Z component is always equal to 1. We actually want it to be 0. Because that's the opposite of what we have. So the furthest away fragments are actually lower for better precision. I think this leads to the reverse of what we want. So I think I was right. But I think this needs to be 0. So let's comp this out for a minute and GL position equals vec4. So we're just going to be very basic here and not do any fanciness. So X and Y and 0 and W. Pos W. Now we'll see how that looks. Now I've still turned off the transform, so we should be able to see. Perfect, right? So we have reverse Z. That's exactly what we wanted. So yeah. So now if I turn off the transform, we'll at least see the what is it called? The skybox and everything in it. So yeah, we were treating Z as 1 and it should be 0 in our case specifically. There we go. Okay, cool. We're seeing everything. The skybox is behind everything. Although it's not got any texture, which we're trying to fix. So, right. Let's move on. Okay, so the next thing I want to try and fix is the thing I tried to fix while what is it called? RenderDoc was working. And we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to change the other variable, and we're just going to see if we don't accidentally sample over the wrong thing, which is, I think, that's what ended up happening. We ended up sampling over the wrong descriptor, basically. So that would improve our efficiency a little bit, what we did earlier, but not in a measurable amount. I don't think it would be. It's just an easy thing to win, you know. It's a bit of performance for no gain. Sorry, basically the bit of performance that we could just get for nothing, basically. So here's the thing I want to try, right? So the count is 0, and I just want to see if that is affecting the thing we select. Hi, Yiptag, how you doing, dude? Hope you're having a good day on a Monday. Yeah, we just gained some performance. Interesting. We have lost all our rocks somehow, but not the spheres, which is strange. Have we lost the ducks? We should see a duck here. Oh, where the yellow is. Yep. Okay, we lost everything. It's possible that we just got the binding wrong. Let's see. 0, 0. And 0, 0. Okay. That's strange. Oh, interesting. We didn't change the thing here, did we? Oh, we're using buffer device addresses. So we're not even using the same data structures. This is tricky. I think I've changed the count one, but I don't quite understand this, to be honest. Let me let's do the proper thing that you're supposed to do with these structs with C++20 onward, which is do the initialization that C's had forever. So all this in the order that it's initialized in the struct. So let's lean back, have a chill. Alright. Just gonna leave that there for reference. So it is .type first, then it's binding. So this definitely is the right thing. I was a bit, so that needs to be 0. You have count equal to 1, and stage equal to this. Dot name, name equal to this, and right. Let's see. Okay, so we have type first. Dot type, and then let's see if I can remember it all. Let's see. 1, and then count. Interesting, I have count 0. Shouldn't that be count 1? Just realised. Ah, yeah, no, that's yes, it should be. And material is .name. Alright, okay, so it's also possible that the buffer is actually just not working, which now I think about it is an interesting idea. I think I'll throw this into RenderDoc if it doesn't work. Yeah, okay, so this is the strange thing that I don't quite understand. Why on earth is it selecting a... There's some weirdness here. Hi Mabdo, how you doing, dude? Hopefully your Vulkan's going better today, since we talked. Struggling myself too, with strange errors. So I'm just going to go back to debug. I don't think we need render doc right now anyway, so we're just losing out on error information. So let's activate these, and excuse me, my mouse wire is being annoying. I wonder if there's a way to improve my mouse usability. Let me, if you can work with me just a moment. I'm in a completely different setup than what I'm used to, so okay, that's better. Okay, thank goodness. Can use mouse a bit easier. Okay, so let's turn logging back on, get that breakpoint in, and then see what ended up happening. Which I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but hi, this is the engine I forked from GitHub. Or hi, sorry, is this engine forked from GitHub? No. Did you create it from scratch? I saw you named it the Void Engine. Yes. Unless there's another Void Engine, which I'm completely unaware of. No, this is created from scratch. There is no fork. Someone did fork me though. The reason I brought that up is because they forked me at a really bad time when I had a bunch of errors in my engine. So, whoops. No, yes. Create from scratch. This is a... Well, technically it's a fork of my own engine, but that's not what you meant. You meant of like someone else's, right? So for some reason this descriptor set comes through as sampler instead of combined image sampler. And then it just throws a hissy fit because that doesn't exist in my updating descriptor sets. So yes, we're going to investigate why that is happening now. Yes, it's mine. All mine. Oh, people do help out in chat though. I have to give them credit there when they're available. But yeah, int main was written by me. All right, let's get rid of that. This is just redundant now. Bunch of comments in our code. That'll just cause a bunch of stuff. Okay, so sampler. Why is this sampler 0? So I need to know what resource actually. Let's run this again, and we shall let it crash and just see the call stack. Where are we? We're creating a descriptor set load model into the scene. So it is the first load model. We try to, excuse me, we try to interestingly load this descriptor set, and it says it's not a it's just a sampler, which is wrong. It's a combined image sampler, which is true. We do want a combined image sampler, but I'm kind of curious why. What is saying it's a combined image sampler? Sorry, just a regular sampler. Because I probably might have set some I might have set something up, you see, in the past. That's just only coming round now as an error. We don't have much in these. I think a lot of these aren't initialized or anything. Descriptor set layouts. Can't imagine anything's in. Oh no, we do have. So no, that is correct. We do want that. Didn't see anything there. So binding 1, interestingly. So we reserve a bunch of arrays. This is why we have a bunch of like empty things like resource 5, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like there is some subtle errors that's been tripping me up this whole time. My precious, yes. 1 second. Just need to take off my hoodie. I should say 1 second. I can't hear the music. You guys can. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, okay. So I was just trying to find some open source projects. The only thing I found was some random repo and Void Engine that is closed source from Arcane Studios. Interesting. Okay, that hopefully won't come back to bite me. I don't. Arcane Studios. I hope they aren't used. I just kind of call it the Void Engine because it was like a. It was so barren at the time. I just couldn't think of any other name. But it's like, how many good names for an engine exists out there? But let's just have a look at. I'm kind of curious now to see. So a little side tangent. I don't know Arcane Studios off the top of my head. I probably do. French. Oh, so they made Prey? Okay. Yes, I definitely know these guys. And see the word void in here? And I'll look at GitHub in a minute. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oof. That's not good. Void uses 20% of idTech 5. Interesting. Well, I'll cross that bridge if they care. It's just my little goofy little engine anyway. It's not like I don't know. People are going to get confused and be like, you must work for Arcane. No, I do not. But yeah, thanks for letting me know about that. That's good to know. A rename might be imminent, but I'm gonna cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not too attached to the name. It's not like a whole brand. I haven't built a whole brand around it or anything. But yes, it's definitely not forked. Roundabout way. Anyway, back to the old OpenGL tutorial. We have fixed the depth testing. We aren't interested in that anymore. We're wondering why, when I try to write, we have a sampler. We might actually have junk. Looking at this creation struct, which wouldn't be good. Because I do see like a huge number. Oh, sorry, my mouse is a bit. Again, I'm in a bit of a scuff setup. That looks like I could be wrong. The biggest unsigned 32 number. I remember the ending kind of looks like this, but let's just crash it. Well, it crashed. Let's assert again, and go back on the call stack. Get out of the way. Now you're in the way again. So the last two digits were, yeah, okay. I think what we're getting here is a null. Effectively, we have in my data structures, the highest value is reserved for things that don't exist. So 32-bit highest value is reserved for like a descriptor set or image, sampler, buffer. I should say those three really. Not a descriptor set necessarily. If they don't exist, their handle, basically their pointer, effectively, is the highest 32-bit number, meaning that we can actually exclude them quite simply. So when I create this here, what ends up coming through? We have so we should, in fact, at this point, have a. Let me just check these aren't there's nothing colliding here. There's no binding 0 set 0 anywhere else. Just for this particular uniform buffer object. What are you making, man? I'm making a game engine, and I'm trying at the moment. limited success, I'll say deferred success perhaps, to make a game with that game engine. It's going to be like a little space game. It's made in C++ and Vulkan. A lot of the stuff I'm doing is I'm learning on the fly, so currently fumbling around a little bit, admittedly. But, you know, it's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. Which, I was saying to someone earlier as well, this is something that I like to keep in mind. I'll share it from the Discord server. So I have a little Discord server, which I can invite you guys to if you want. But I was saying this earlier. When you're struggling, it's like when you're learning the fastest. Like neuroplasticity, this is what it feels like. Mild confusion and frustration. That is like when you're most actively learning. So when I'm fumbling around a little bit, it's like I'm improving the fastest at this point. That's what I've heard from, you know, some psychologists online. Yes, I don't know my stuff when it comes to that. So, you know, take that with a pinch of salt. But I think it's like a nice thing to think about. To be like, you know, despite the frustration, there is something that's coming out of it. So the binding, I think. Okay, so let's look at this input bindings. Let's just see if we actually bind anything. So yeah, if you stick around, you might see something on the screen. Currently, we're asserting right now, which means, for those who don't know, so what's the binding? Let's see. We are, okay, so it's the bindless texture. Cool. Oh, this might be just bindless in general. Yeah, so we have image. Yeah, we have image type there. Okay, so let's do that again. I forgot what I was going to say now after that. But anyway, that's not good. You see that? Index 0. Binding. Dynamic. Oh, we have. Press F10. God, I should at least know that. Okay, local constants. Oh, I know where we are. We're in call stack wise. I reckon we're in IMGUI. So we want to skip IMGUI. Where are we now? We are. Okay, so this is the first descriptor set that's not working. Great. Let's see. Okay, so we have a all stages material binding is 0, count is 1, yes. And we go through this. How many bindings? 1, yes. Max bindings 1, yes. And yeah, sorry to distract you, but I have only done loops in C++, and always wondered how do people even build game engines and distribute systems and stuff. It's overwhelming for me. We'll stay here for a while. Yeah, honestly, anyone's welcome, regardless of ability. You can just chill. Your goal here is to just have fun. Yeah, I would say take things one step at a time. I don't think anyone who's like, even John Carmack, if you don't know who he is, he's just like a legendary programmer who broke in the 90s. He consistently made games that blew the industry away. I mean, he invented the FPS genre, for example. Even he had to learn, you know, what a for loop is, all that kind of stuff that you're learning right now. And you know, why not you too? You know, why can't you be an absolute monster when it comes to programming? So, yeah, I think anyone can achieve great things when it comes to this stuff. So yeah, if I don't mean being distracted, by the way. If you do want to learn, if you do want to ask questions, it does actually help me explain through what I'm doing. But yeah, anyone can do. You can also become a master too. You just have to take it one step at a time. Right, so this is bindless new, right? Should be false. Why have I set this up as a integer, weirdly? I think I was not quite understanding data-oriented design here. So this should be bindless, skip bindless, yes, true. So descriptor sets. Okay, so this is something we're going to be modifying, it looks like. That's a modifiable variable value. Oh shoot, I'm late. No, yeah, I'm late as well. I haven't been streaming that long. I had to change my setup, so we're in a completely different location. Impromptu. So yeah, we're currently struggling with the same thing as yesterday. Good to see you, by the way, G3. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Binding 0. Yeah, this is all correct. This is what it wants. So we're doing a static. I was into static casting at the time and being a good boy. Index to bind 0. Sure. Maybe I should have. I mean, these are going to be the same, but okay. So we're not skipping bindless, which is correct. We are increasing the binding value. We have succeeded in something, that we have reduced the amount of overdraw we're doing with this broken skybox, which is, you know, progress. What the hell is going on here? Why have we done this twice? Oh, this is a merge issue, this. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I think what I did here is just originally get rid of this. This is just leftovers from a merge collision. So in Git, sometimes it can accidentally copy and paste code. So I'll get rid of that. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go through all the descriptor sets we don't care about again. Let's remove that. Okay, so we should be in the... This is the bindless one for bindless textures. This is IMGUI. This is main, which is what I want. Yes, okay. Right, so binding. Descriptor type, dynamic. Count is 1. Stage is, which is all, yes. And immutable. Shaders, nope. Okay, that just seems normal, right? Where do I see the what I'm looking for? Okay, so this is kind of all to be expected. Let me just look. What I want to look for is the type of descriptor set that we're doing. So okay, we'll just step through this. I'll show you what I'm looking for. Nope. Okay. That seems normal. Everything seems great. Is there some special code? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a special one index equals this, another index equals that. Number of active layouts are not in the function yet. Is 2. Which is fine. 1 should be the descriptor set. So that's the handle. Made a texture walking animation for my little dude. Oh, yo! Love that. Bobo Bay inspired. I want to make a creature rising game. Nice, dude. Looking forward to seeing that progress. So Dietrich Code's talking about something he's left in this Discord server. Which I always love seeing art. It's always so motivating. So, you know, it's always I'm always grateful for that kind of thing. Ooh, what did I create actually? Cube. Stage count 2. Hang on, I'm gonna go back. I wonder if I can. Ugh. Can I do this? Okay, so be warned, if you move this around the program counter, it can just break everything. So I may have invalid data now. But I want to see, because it is the sampler. The sampler should be combined image, not just sampler. Okay. You know what I'm going to do after this, if I can't find it? I'm just going to actually comment out stuff, stop things from compiling, and then actually go through. So here we go. BK shader stage compute. That should obviously never go there. BK blah blah blah. We are mem setting this guy. What's in it though? Just all zeros, fine. Interesting. Why did we do that? Oh, it's a reference. Okay, so create shader mod. Oh, we're creating a shader module. Okay. I consider myself to really suck at art. It's truly a crowning achievement of my life. That you made that that little character. Yo, I love it. No, it's sick though, honestly. It's you know, we're all here to create. Well, I mean, everyone's here should be chilling, having fun. But you know, if you post stuff, I'm all for seeing that. Right, let me think. What I'm going to do is what I said I'm going to do. This is going to take too long, I think. I'm getting a bit impatient with the thing that's crashed. So I'm going to crash again. And then I'm just going to comment out the stuff that it should be, and then I'm going to see where it's assigned, which is going to help me a lot. That's going to actually be way faster. I could even put breakpoints in those assignments as well, so that's going to be too much better. Alright, so we're just going to let that crash / assert. And then I'm going to go, okay, Bill, go to this, and then I'm going to go, okay, so it crashed on, what is it, type? It's so useless, this thing. Type. So we're going to break our code completely just to see where this is assigned. So we're going to get compilation errors, which is by design. So that's just going to tell me where everything is. Nope. So there's 3 uses of this. Oh, no, it's a couple. So, okay, not interested in that really. Combined image sampler. Yep, that's fine. Okay, that's the switch. That's where it's going wrong. That's the issue. Okay, so it's this. That's the assignment. So I'm gonna put that there. I think we've already seen this, but I think I went past it. Just make sure there's no others. Okay, so we assign it to something else, which I don't think is used, but I'm gonna put a breakpoint anyway. Good little hack that, by the way. Let's comment out something. Assuming that your compilation time doesn't take forever. Okay. Achieving a lot of things without AI is goated. Most people can't do that. Yeah. It's awesome when you can just do stuff by yourself. Skills. You get the skills to pay the bills. Literally. Stored image, that's the bindless. So this is I'm GUI. What are you, interestingly? A VK uniform buffer dynamic. Oh, this is not going to be what I want, I don't think. Let me guess, this is the same thing. Okay, maybe it's... I'm going to look for an image sampler, right? Interesting. Let's do that again. Okay, so that's actually really useful. So it crashes. Okay, let's just go through this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 times. So on the 4th one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the bad one. What are you? Okay, so this is the bad one. And it crashes in between this and... So let's zoom out a bit. Where does it actually crash? In main? So build scene, so it's in between here. But it would have made a lot more descriptor sets. Am I not setting up the descriptor sets or something? I really want this to work because it's kind of silly just having this at number 1. There's something here that's just not working. And it's possibly breaking the skybox, so yeah. AI is 95% wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I've not seen. Yeah, neither have I. I've not seen the newest models. Not interested in them. As far as I can say, I don't want to get into AI ramblings, but they came out with a. We built a. Anthropic said they built a compiler in C with Claude or whatever, and it turns out that the C compiler is barely anything resembling a C compiler. It's not like it can do stuff with C files, but it's not an actual proper C compiler. So I'm starting to see through a lot of the hype effectively when it comes to AI nowadays. Oh my goodness, I think that might be it. Oh my goodness, that was it. Just looked at the wrong thing. I was binding at the wrong value. Okay. Nope, still not right. Okay, but I kind of know where to target now because there was a mistake. I found a mistake, corrected it, but there's more. Okay, so this material buffer thing. I think it's in the load materials buffer or whatever. So when we actually... Yes, okay, so that I fixed it for the skybox, but I haven't fixed it for the load models. Let me fix that for the load models. I'm saying it's binding 1 still, I think. Yes, okay. So this fixes it here and in the skybox as well. So let's do that again. Yeah, I don't know why people vibe code at all. Fantastic, bro, fantastic. We are past that. I am very tempted to push this because we have done some stuff here that's actually quite good. And I don't want to lose it to having to do something else. Okay. So effectively we were creating a descriptor set that had no buffer in. So that's why it was going weird. And that's why the errors didn't really make much sense, because I don't even ever assign something to a sampler only. That might be just initializing things to 0 type situation. So yeah, I'm just going to... we have reduced overdraw. Oops. Reduced overdraw for our... I almost want to put this in the quotes. Skybox. And fixed the binding issue. Nice. Right, give that a push. Should be good. I'm on Wi-Fi, so it's slower than usual. There we go, there we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we've got a new baseline, everything works. Next thing I want to do is restore what I did before I messed around with everything. When it comes to loading more than one face for a model. Sorry, for a texture, for a cube texture. We are not doing that. I think we're not handling this. I think I almost want to rip out a whole different function for cube maps, because cube maps are cube maps, I keep saying the wrong thing. Cube textures are 6 faces of 2D textures, which get sampled over with a direction vector in your fragment shader. And I think at the moment we're only expecting a texture of that has 1 face, not 6. So Vulkan. Oh. Texture. Does it load? No. It's Vulkan texture something. Okay, let me scroll up. It's near the top. So that's something I'm gonna. There it is. Create. Okay, it's the great texture. So if anyone was here yesterday, they would have seen some of this, but we're gonna add this back in. It's because I broke a lot of things. I had to git stash. So yeah, let's fix that. Oh no, wait. That's correct. That's something I didn't expect to be correct. Okay, what else is missing from this though? Okay, so I just want to zoom out a layer. And okay, to here. Yes, the size. Whoops. Apologies. I just dropped that. Dropped my keyboard. It's on my knee. Hopefully that wasn't really loud. Okay, creation times this. Because the actual. Oh, spelling that right. Come on, creation. It is layer count. What am I spelling wrong here? Oh, there we go. That's why. Cool. Sounds like I'm not the only one that drops my keyboard. Nope, not at all. Yeah, I do it all the time. Fortunately, it's not a big chunky mechanical thing. I don't really like those keyboards. Yeah, surprising everyone. It is so. We have that at least. So then we want to do this, and what do we transfer here? Region count. This needs to be 1 still. The transfer. This is the thing I needs to fix as well. Okay, so uint 32. Noise cancellation is off, by the way. Ah, right. Yeah, it's because I'm in a different setup. It's I turn the gain up, but I can turn it down. But I might be a bit quiet, so just let me know, okay? Okay. Yes. No, I'm not in the kitchen today. That's the difference. I'm in a different room. It's Star Wars Day, so I'm too close to the TV. You would hear Star Wars. Yeah, so may the Force be with you, gang. So Star Wars films are on because it's bank holiday in the UK, so this is why we're in a different setup. But we're making it work. We're making it work. So 1 for depth, because, and then we just want. Yeah, you would constantly be hearing random parts of Star Wars movies, which I don't think is the best listening experience, in my opinion. I wonder if we transition all 6. That's it. Yep. Got to remember it. Star Wars Day. Okay, so we got rid of this. There was no point of having this here. If we transition properly, that doesn't need to exist. It's just setting something up that doesn't need to happen. Okay, we have done everything, I believe. I don't think anything's going to change, but we shouldn't have broke anything at least. Okay, cool. Texture's still on the thingies. Very cool. Off. How many days are you into this project? How many days would this be? I'm like, I started this in, I seriously started to do this in like late January this year. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say a couple of months. I'll have to like think about it more. My dad saw the original screening of Star Wars in the 70s, and I'm jealous. Yo, that's sick. I think my dad did too, actually. He often on Star, when he's talking about Star Wars, at least he remembers the Death Star coming over over the head at the beginning of A New Hope. He said it was like a really cool moment, because no film had done that up until that point, that type of scale and spectacle, which I think blew everyone away at the time. I think it's pretty badass to this day. I think Adam Savage, sorry. You can see all his work, because I think he worked on the models for the actual film, and he's done a lot since then. But I believe he worked on that with a team of people. You get to see his work when that's happening. Anyway, so yeah, we've got this far. We are copying, we are transitioning all the images. We have a base array which starts at, I feel like I almost want to start this at 1, to be honest, but because according to the sub resource, it's not clear if we copy 6 images or 5, if that makes sense. So end of index, or is it the size of the image that we pass in here, or is it the last index that we pass in here? I don't know. Either way, I don't think it would matter too much, because we would see one less image. We are seeing no image. Just make sure I rotate, see everything. Spin up and down. Nope. We should see something that's kind of obvious in the background. Okay, let's see. Staging allocations? No. Okay, so I might again have to look at these documentation notes and just see with a clearer mind. I wonder if we have. Wait to disturb the music just a moment. I saw a Cyberpunk 2007 battle theme thing, which I wonder if it'll be a slightly different playlist. Because again, a little tired of the same. Because it's quite. Let's see, battle music. I saw like this. Yeah, this one. I want to try this. See if it's good. It's gonna have some of the same music in, but I think it's got more in my playlist, more than in my playlist. Anyway, I got the how to Vulkan source code to work, but on my PC, I think I might need a dedicated GPU. Oh, congratulations! And yeah, I'm not sure. If it runs, you should be good, but if it's slow, if it's really slow, compile it. What I would do first is compile and release, update your graphics drivers first, do that first, compile and release with no validation on. I don't know if you know what that means, but turn off validation and see how fast it runs just by itself. And you should be able to see if it's like too slow or something like that. Yeah, because if you've got super old graphics drivers from like 2000 and I don't know 20, you're gonna struggle. Your games will thank you anyway. They'll actually run smoother, in theory. Technically, they could break, but that's extremely unlikely. the more almost always game developers don't assume that there's a bug. Assume that there's a bug there for your games to run. Oh, there you go. Yep. Yeah, I have two too. Yeah, it's new for Vulkan. It's for the new Vulkan version. So you do need a GPU made in the last 12 years. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. Ooh, that's a bit. Yeah, that's a bit tough. If you, I know. Not everyone's from the same country, and that's like maybe the norm. But yeah, just check. What I would do is literally go online and just see what your graphics drivers, what your Vulkan implementation supports on your GPU. Because I know they stopped supporting some older GPUs. Some very old graphics cards only go up to Vulkan 1.2, and then it's like 1.4 after a particular point in time. Yeah, so personally, that's another thing as well. So it depends how old your thing is, and also update your graphics drivers. Okay, so don't know how to solve all them for you. Your support's 14. There you're fine then. Yes, I am definitely planning on using the multi-threading. Yeah, VK application info. Oh, your PC's a beast. Oh yeah, you're fine then. You wouldn't need a dedicated GPU. Oh, your laptop. So you've got a deep PC now. Okay, I understand now. Anyway, let's get back into this. Yeah, let's go. Oh, it's gonna start to stretch and think at the same time. Let's see. So we're back on this again. We've done the overdraw. We've moved everything to binding 0. And what's next? Yeah, what I need to do is look up the documentation. Sorry, Ratchet, you've kind of joined. We have done stuff other than this. We're not just stuck on this, but I know Ratchet was helping me with this yesterday, and I'm back on the same thing again. Yeah, you should have joined us earlier. Yo, nice. Looks like you're all getting good stuff, dude. Yo, Frosty, how you doing, dude? Hope you're having a great day. P region. Right. So what I'm interested in is this guy. There was something said. Hang on. If I watch. Can you guys? Are you guys okay with me just going on a YouTube video briefly? Because there was something said in a YouTube video that I just want to look up again. It won't take too long. It was something to do with what should I be copying and what shouldn't. What should be multiplied by the layers and what shouldn't be multiplied by the layers. I just need to do that. It was in OGL Dev, which is a great guy, by the way. Highly recommend this YouTube channel if you guys are learning how to. It's a bit slower, but he does have specific videos and specific concepts, like do Bloom in OpenGL or whatever. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna go into his skybox thing and quickly scrape through a video, which is. I'm just going to go through the chapters briefly, because I'm not I can't exactly remember what what size needs to be what, basically. I think it's going to be like here. Unfortunately, it's quite small. So this is him loading the texture. Okay, so the layers are 6, which is good to know.
And 6 for cube maps. There is no change in getting the image memory requirements.
Yeah, OGL guys are awesome, dude. Yeah, movie time, fantastic, yeah. My first React video. Oh my goodness. I can't believe he did that. Cancel him now.
The next function uploads the pixels into
the
GPU texture. It takes the cube map flag and the number of layers, which is 6 for cube maps and 1 otherwise. The number of layers is critical when calculating the size of the texture.
Yep.
A single face
Here we go.
is the width times the height times the number of bytes per pic.
So the image size is layer size and image size. Why is that different? And where is it used? So layer size to copy. What's the image size for then? So the layer size. So we're not copying. Okay, so this is where I've made a mistake, I think. So the first thing I need to check is when we actually do this. What's the struct? The staging struct. There's got to be something in here that's. So I think it should be 1. I think that's the idea here. No. Give me a second. Let me think. Why would this be used? So this is. I'm going to screenshot this, so I can refer to it. We're going to continue on with the video again, and I'm just going to do this, I guess. Not that I'll forget, but.
So, the total image size is the size of the layer.
Yep.
Times the number of layers. The update function uses memcopy to copy the pixels into the staging buffer.
So we copy the stage when we're creating a staging buffer. We are use image size. What do we use? Which is let me think. Where's my actual... This is the image transition. This is a bit earlier on. Allocate, create buffer. That's the buffer size. Okay, I think we've gone a bit too far ahead here. Yeah, let me... yes, it should be free. It's going to be open source anyway. I don't think anyone's going to want to use this. So effectively, it's going to be, you can download the source code, anyone can run it, assuming that anyone wants to. But I'm not going to support generic use of the game engine. Meaning, if I cut a corner, for example, and because I don't know, let's just say, I don't want to make an entity component system. I don't want to systemize my components. I don't know. Which is beneficial for a generic game engine. And then someone goes, I want to use your game engine, but it doesn't support this thing that Godot and Unity support. Then I'm just going to be like, if you want it, you're going to have to fork it and make it yourself. Yeah, generic is heavy. That's the thing. It's I guess I was trying to. I guess I was thinking that the pipeline would be separate, but I'm speaking too broadly to be useful anyway. If you're questioning a ratchet, probably not. Haha. I see. I don't do deferred. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. You're just talking about deferred rendering there. Okay. Just making sure you weren't trying to tell me something and I was not listening. Which I do try to, but you know, sometimes if the chat moves a little quicker than usual, sometimes I might miss it. Anyway, okay, so we are when we actually do the, where's the copy happening? Give me a minute. This is the transfer. This is the actual copy. But when are we creating this staging buffer and putting the memory in it? That's what I want to know. Which is different. So the staging buffer, we write out the staging buffer and the allocation info. Yep. So the VMA allocates here. It's the staging allocation in image size. Interesting. So this is it. And this was taking in the
update function uses memcopy to copy the pixels into the staging buffer.
Yeah, okay, so he's doing it manually for some reason. Which is fine, I guess. Maybe he's not using VMA. But I guess, no, he's, I don't know. I'm not going to criticize. I can't even get it right.
Otherwise, you will only copy a single face. Next, we transition the image from
I appreciate you, Dietrich.
to transfer destination optimal.
Yep.
We copy
Translate
from the
destination
staging buffer to the final image, and then we transition from transfer destination optimal to shader read-only.
Oops, my bad. So we use layer size here. Let's go back. What was the function called? Copy to image, and it's layer size, so it's not the image size. Okay, let's get this right. So we copy over the image size. The buffer, though, I'm a bit confused if I want this to be the size. I'm going to say for... Yes, it needs to be that same size because we're copying over an image of that size. It wouldn't make any sense if it was smaller. Okay, work that out. The region that we're copying is the same, and we transition the image. Let's just make sure we actually have updated the transitional thingy. It's there. Anywhere else? Again, I'll eventually remove all these, but I want to keep things simpler for myself right now and just leave them for now. Because they work, air quotes maybe. Okily dokily. What's next? So I think that's it. I think... Wait. Wait. What did he have right at the beginning?
From this point on, the process is the same as loading a 2D texture. So I just want to point
exactly.
out
So I don't want to recreate that. Okay.
That you will need to implement if you have
He
a
had something that was
code.
kind of interesting.
It
was something to do with
width and height of a single face, which is the same.
Was it this? Is what I'm interested in? No, he's making a... Okay, let's just be patient.
So I just want to
and then we're going to go back to this, I think.
Changes that you will need to implement if you have a similar piece of code. You can see that the cube map...
That's what I want to see. Go back.
Will need to implement if you have a similar piece of code.
Array layers. Do I do that? For the... Yeah, I do. Okay. And it is 6. I thought it might have cracked something then. I thought, I made a mistake there. There it is. Obvious. It's going to fix everything. Obviously not. Oh well. I think we've got everything right. Sub resource. Layer count. It always has been. Always has been. Don't need to do this. That's always undefined. Alright, let's just run that and just see. I haven't broken anything. Nope. Okay. So yes, things don't work, but it's not more broken than before. I mean, it's a very moody atmosphere when you have absolutely blackness. I'm in the void of space where there's no stars, but only rocks. I'm just trying to think at the moment. Yeah. Well, you are in the void engine. Exactly. Yeah. I just found out though. There's someone kindly let us know in chat. There is another void engine that exists. By Arcane Studios, who made Prey. 2017. Whoa. This might be the Void 2 engine. Better and improved. So we'll see about that in the future. Oh, give myself a stretch. Okay, let's the problem with this debugging session is there's two things that could be wrong. There could be the sampling. Yeah, the Void Star engine. Ah, yeah, I like that. I like that. There's two things that could be wrong. It could be the copying of the buffer, or it could be the sampling, in the sense that I've set up the descriptor set wrong and it's not getting any data that's relevant in the shader. So the data could be incorrectly set up, which I think I've corrected. But now it's hard to test if it's correct. It's hard to. This is the textures are hard in general. Well, not too difficult, but I'm not going to say it's easy, right? I'm going to say it's like medium difficult for Vulkan. So we could be messing up the shader and the passing things to the shader, or we could be messing the data itself. I don't know if there's any way to actually investigate the actual memory when it's actually on the GPU. I think that's the problem at the moment. Because I'm relying on this texture being added to the bindless resources. In other words, it can be interpreted how you want at your own risk. Effectively, yeah, it's if the data's wrong, you can see it in render doc. Okay, maybe you can see something I can't. Let's just have a look. We'll do that. It's not obvious what's not working. Yeah, that's for me anyway. If the descriptor set is wrong, you can see that. Yeah, okay. Let's look at that actual. Let's see if we can do that. Because I haven't seen it. I can't deny or confirm that in render doc it'll work. You see. Sorry, I can't deny or confirm that the actual descriptor set is wrong. So let's break into the debug. Let's do what we usually do. Disable the runtime checks in real time and run the release. Sorry, build the release. I don't think we changed the shaders. No, they will be recomp. I'm going to copy them over anyway. I feel like the descriptor set changed the number, the binding number. When I did this, I changed from 0 to 1. Sorry, 1 to 0 even. Oops. Okay, cool. Let's go in to our shaders. I'm just going to take these fellas, put them in the release, and make sure everything runs in the usual way. Because I think the bindings are different, so let's just not even think about it and just throw them in. Yep, okie dokie. And let's go and launch an application. Let's do the same thing again. No. And capture a frame immediately, and then close. Okie dokie. Descriptor sets. We have the draw calls. We need to see the descriptor sets. So obviously we want this 2D depth attachment. That's what it is. Now let's just check if that's actually what it is based on going to another draw call. So that's the depth, right? Global image. So what's actually been drawn? Hang on. Okay, that's the... Is everything black? That's the depth image. That's the depth though. Yeah, let me do that again and zoom in on a rock real close, because I can't see a working texture versus a non-working texture if I can't actually, if it's lit up as black. So let's just do that again. No, and I'll just get really close to a rock like this, and we'll capture. Yeah, I'll disable this for now as well, so it's even simpler. Capture a frame. Nope, capture a frame. We're not in a... And that should be an easier way to tell what's going on, I think. So we have a... So this is us rendering. So we have a depth. We have global image 2D. We don't ever use this, so I don't know why it's there, to be honest. We just go straight to the swap chain image. Descriptor sets. Where would these be? Oh, in the resource view? Sure. Thought it'd be in the texture view, but that's probably... Let's bring it up. View. That was the resource. Have I already got it up? No. Resourcing viewer. Statistics, performance count, mesh, annotation, pipeline stages. Maybe you meant resource inspector? Okay. Okay, so double click. So okay, so do we have descriptor sets or something like? We have descriptor sets here. We have, oops. Sorry, let's go back. Internal content maybe? Inspector, got you. Yeah. Right, let's keep digging. Let's make sure there's nothing else. So there should be like a bindless descriptor set, which has the size of 1024 textures. I'm just going to put my keyboard down for a minute. 1 minute, gang. You might hear some... Nope. Okay. We have... How do I know how big these are? Let's get internal. Let's get these open every time. Binding. Dynamic uniform. Okay. I think that's what I'll look at, right? Is there anything interesting in here? Okay, so this descriptor set count 1. I want to get the bindless stuff up. So I don't know which. So there should be one with like a lot in, or just like a different size or something. I could be wrong, but I'm looking for 1024. Because that's where all the textures are coming from. So that's what number I'm looking for at the moment. Because there's two. That's why there's 2 descriptor pools at the moment. Okay, let's go for our descriptor pools, and then we can see maybe where it comes from, like what descriptor set comes from what descriptor pool. Okay. So device 10, sure. We have a pool size of 11. I don't think this is it. I think maybe Yes. Okay. So this is the. Okay. So it's 2000 for both types, right? So we have an image sampler and an image thingy. Okay. So when we descriptor pool index is 159. So if I go to my descriptor sets, what's our descriptor pool? Do we have a descriptor pool? Okay, so 159, which is... Okay, so I think that's it. 100, yes. So these are all... Yes. Okay, so we found it, right? So the one we care about is this, which is the thing, and this is the... This is tied to that. Okay, cool. The problem is okay, the binding's right there the whole time. Right, so let's look in sampler, image sampler. Do we have a way of seeing what it is? I'd love to see it, because that would be really nice. Like, oh, this is the texture. Maybe that's asking too much. Oh, whoops. I'll go back. I feel like hang on. Let's go back. We kind of lost it there. Okay, so sampler perhaps. So this is a good texture. This is the one that should be all good in the hood. So this is like a well-behaved texture. So let's see. Let's keep going. So I'm not entirely sure what this one is, but they look the same. So there should be a couple with the like. Okay, so we have a different image here. Okay, now we have a completely different image. What about? So they shouldn't be all have resources. I'm trying to get to one that like doesn't make any sense. Like we don't have 50 textures. Okay, so that's like invalid. That's invalid. That's invalid. Okay, so we have 8 textures in this whole thing, probably to do with the duck. Yeah, I'll try that. Oh, hi Relix, how you doing? Mado, thank you for keeping track of things for me. I am seeing them. So, trying to see. Wish I could make it like a tab or something. Let's. Okay, so we're not going to lose this if we just. Let's try this again. Oh, this is depth. We won't see anything anyway. So some of these are depth. That's good to know. And we need a color one. Color. Okay, so this should be color. So that was a depth image. Is there a way to see what this depth image is? So we're trying to investigate what the textures should be. Based on I'm trying to see if I can actually see what the texture is in RenderDoc and be like, is it possible to be displayed in here? No idea. Oops. I don't know where we are now. We're in memory. No, this is not what I want. Let's try again. Might be worth a quick Google search, to be honest. If I can't find it. I think it's got to be this 2D image, right? Bind image, initial content. Is there a way to see this? No? So it links back to itself. We have memory. No. It's possible that it's just a white image. That's, yeah, hang on. I think this is not something we want to be even looking at. There is an image, there is a... Okay, so this is, we have depth. I think that was the dummy image, which is just like a 1x1 pixel of white. Which, again, we won't see anything, so... No static data to observe. Boo. And in the memory, yeah, this doesn't work either. Okay, we at least know that we have up to... let's see if it's possible. I'm going to do a quick Google search, pick up my keyboard again. Oh, that's true, actually. We could look at the... Let's see if we have a way of looking at a particular texture image. Ah, okay, look. There they are. Oh my goodness, that was a struggle for nothing. What? Oh no, that's the specular. Ah, look at this. It's never right. So we have a global textures. Yeah, so that... There we go. So this should be number 2. So if I go into my shader, my skybox, change this to 2, this whole index, we shouldn't get any errors, in theory. I'm just going to check. So this correlates 100% with what we just saw. So is it counted by index 0 or 1? Oh, okay. So this is going to be 1, not 0, not 2. Yep. Okay. So this is... Ooh, this is the texture that should be visible. And it is not, because it's just black. So that makes our life a lot easier. We know that it's not to do... It's nothing... Well, it could be later on, but we're failing at the first hurdle right now. We're not actually getting the memory into the actual... to the actual shader. We're just getting a black texture at index 1. That's good to know. Thank you, Ratchet. Again, always always appreciated your help. You want to develop an operating system? Nice. That's it. I'm glad you're learning C++ and not sticking to a particular thing, if you know what I mean. Like, if you want to develop as... Because I feel like you're less of a beginner than you used to be, for sure. But a lot of people say, like, I want to do this. And then, you know, they learn programming and they find out it's not fun at all. And they really should just be learning the fundamentals and exploring all types of things that might be interesting, which may or may not include game development. I know we're on a game dev stream, so I just want everyone in our community to be good at what they do effectively. Yeah. Okay. So this is a texture. In the end, obviously not immediately. So that's why I try to help when I can, if possible. Okay. So. So we're going to have to start from scratch here and just kind of work forward one step at a time. So now we know that... we also know that texture 1. So if we go to our pipeline stage, our resource inspector. Coding Jesus recommending C++ concurrency is in action book. Oh yeah, fantastic that you've gone through the functions. I'm going to learn classes. Fantastic. Love it, dude. I like the way you've taken your time as well. It's a lot. You'll thank yourself in the future. Like, it's very tempting to be like, okay, I've learned variables, functions, let's jump into building the bootloader for an operating system. It's very common. I did that a lot when I was younger. But you'll always be like, now I've got the foundation. When you do something difficult, you'll be like, you'll have a lot more resources to fall back on. So anyway, if we go back to my descriptor sets, I am on descriptor set 1. I believe the thing I care about is definitely here. And I just want to investigate this. Fantastic. I'm glad you learned a lot. Yeah, once you understand how classes work in C++ and lambdas, then you're set. That includes class inheritance. Yeah, pretty much. It's not like you need to know literally everything. I think if that's a solid foundation, I would say finish the book though, in my opinion. That book you're reading, go cover to cover, and then you can always refer back to it at any point. So, yeah, keep it up. You're doing the right thing, Kalia. Sure, yeah. Let's right. Level count is 1. Why is that? What am I on at the moment? Image view. Let's go through my image views and just see if the image count has actually transitioned. If that makes sense. The sub resources. So that's 1. Because if we getting this wrong, then at least we know. So one of these should be. You know what I'm gonna do to make my life like a lot easier? Okay, 6. Which is image view. Next time I do this, I'm gonna just capture the skybox, I think. I'm just gonna disable everything else. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do that now just for my own sanity. So I'm gonna capture a frame with just with everything else disabled. Just so I don't have to click through many resources and stuff. So yeah, just bear with me a minute. You're making your own abstraction. Cool. Yeah, just keep learning, dude. That's all. That's all you need to do. Do what's fun. Keep learning. And, eventually, you'll be teaching me. I mean, we can all see I need it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is disable that as well. Yeah, the buffer device address. Leave the skybox. Build. You have great teaching skills at Fag. Thank goodness. Identified. Okay. Do we use? Oh, we do use that. Sorry, let's bring that back. We do use that. Okay. Let's put my feet down. Okey-dokey. Let's oh, and also disable iron GUI so it's even easier for me. So then we're only in render doc, only debugging that particular texture. So yeah, I forgot about iron GUI for a minute. I am good. Go away. Right. Okay. I say that should be iron GUI dead for now. Cool. Fantastic. Let's throw that into render doc and just have way less to pass. And I'm not going to continue along with this. This is just honestly for the future. No. So when I'm trying to debug this, casual 5,000 frames per second. Yeah, so we should be rendering that, and then yeah, that, and yeah, we have our cube texture. Interesting. I don't know. You could scale. Huh. Right. So we're interested in this guy. number 3. And it's all black, so we are clearly not doing it right. And we'll keep that there for now. We're going to go back to debug. Now we have a frame. Alright, just bring everything back. And yep, and let's do what we usually do when we go back to debug. You're all familiar with this. Undefine these fellas, and oops. There we go, and log. There we go, logo. Right, okay, and back to debug. Okay, so now we have the debugger back. A guy, see, you've done teaching before. A guy understood in a minute. You understood nothing in skill. Ah, you're from Azerbaijan. Baku. Nice. Oh, sorry. I'm about to knock over a wire. Okay. Okay, back. We're back. We're back. We're back. I think I nearly yanked my microphone on the floor with my foot. That would have been a big annoyance. Okay, so we are not uploading the data to the shader. Let's go. We know this for sure now. And I think we've pretty much investigated everything we want in so the problem is we're getting no error checking. As far as I'm aware, when you do this, you create an image view. Let me go back to the highest level of this, like top level. Create a cube map. This thing, right? No, I'm kind of curious. Is this always just 2D, 3D, and 1D? Yeah. Let me make a cube. Yeah. Yeah, GNorm, whatever. We're not doing any compression / optimization. Sample and destination copy. This was always added so I could actually transfer it. But I'm kind of curious now. I'm gonna stop messing around with things. What's this one? New MIPS. Yep, we don't want to worry about MIPS. What's the size? The new depth. Yep, 1. Layer count is equal to 6. All right. And we loop through an array. I am not going to free memory. In fact, that's what I'm going to do instead. Actually, I'm just going to go back so I don't have to type this out. Obviously, this is bad, but I'm wondering if we load memory and then we free it, and then it, like, because we haven't actually done this or create text or whatever, we end up freeing the memory too early, and then we end up like uploading nothing. So this is going to cause a memory leak, but not a big one. No, same deal. That's funny. That the one that went this way usually run all the way over here for some reason. I did wonder where that went. Okay. Okie dokie. So I'm going to leave that off for a minute just to let that cook. So we definitely have memory. We set the data. Uniform, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's just get rid of this. Is there a image usage type that's like cube specific or something? Should be shade reader optimal or something. This is the I don't think so. No, I don't think we're in the memory transition. It's just what you're going to use it for. No. Yeah, because we're going to sample over it. I don't think this is going to... This is either going to error out or it's going to not do anything. In the copy transfer, I'm kind of curious. Yeah, okay, good. So at least we do need that. Yeah, okay. Okay, just checking my assumptions. Oops. And this is 1 for size. This isn't really the size, to be honest. That's the buffer size. Is this for the same thing? No, texture creation. Gotta be very careful not to mix these up. And this is for... No. Okay, so there's no... We don't set the... When we do this, we don't actually set... Yes, the format... We do want a cube. We do want a cube. Okay, next layer. I think we've been in here before, but... Okay. Let's just check the obvious. Is there any data in here? Question number 1. We should have data, but don't know. Okay. The other thing I've just thought of, hang on. You're gonna have to stick with me again. I'm gonna upload one texture and just exclude this array. It shouldn't be, it should work, but again, I've just got to make sure that my assumptions are challenged every single time here. Like, are we actually uploading memory here? That's the question, right? So I'm just going to upload one image and kind of tolerate that. I've just got to rule, if we're not uploading the data properly, we've got to exclude stuff that might be causing that issue. So here we have this. Okay, this doesn't really matter. You know, I could for fairness throw this in here. Put that back. I don't think it did anything, but I will just comment this out for a minute because it's completely redundant for a minute. The shutdown is irrelevant, and the startup is irrelevant. Okay, image data. Oh, we've got a... Let's do that here. So this is actually still valid. Okay. Cool. Right, I'm just going to F5. Where are we? Call stack. Creates texture. Image size. What's the issue? Don't say it's like too big. Hopefully it's like you're trying to copy to something that doesn't exist. How about this? We set the region to 1, right? We're going to set this to 1. Now we should have one texture rendered on one face of the cube. So, unless there's something gone wrong. Array. Yeah. We got past that error, fortunately. Yeah, I'm just going to do a very simple check here and just make sure that the loading is correct for what we care about. So we are going to do a 2D texture on one face of a cube. Do that. Import. Oh yeah, and we've got to go into our shader now. Duplicate a line of code and throw in a regular texture. Now we've got to change this to thing. Again, I just want to make sure that the pipeline from top to bottom is working and we can actually see something happening. So I don't know what the... Okay, great, right? That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see something. Okay, so we can actually upload the data. There is something there. It's happening. Cool. Okay, so next is when we do this array and we get this out, we do a shutdown there. Get rid of this for a minute. When I do, excuse me, when I do a image data, I'm going to do a bit of a strange thing here. Access this 0. It returns a uint. Yep. So that should do the same thing. If it doesn't upload, then we know we've got it wrong. There's a point to escape. Oh, yes. Okay, interesting. So, let's do this one step at a time. Yeah, good to see you, Shadow, by the way. Hope you're having a great day. Whatever you're up to. Interesting, you see that? So, yes, this is bad. We're freeing the data too early. That's really good to know because it was never ever going to work in the cube map version if that was the case. So that was an actual mistake we found. Thank goodness. Right. The next, unfortunately, we can't go any further. What I can do at least is just like do another one. Like just do, I don't know, texture 4, right? How are you, man? Yeah, not bad. We're starting to make progress, thankfully. Yeah. Okay, so the... Everything is good, as far as I can see. Okay, so unfortunately now we have to start... Yeah, I'm getting somewhere, finally. We're starting to be able to debug stuff, which is great. It turns out that none of the texture data was being uploaded anyway, so nothing was working. Right. Cube. When we move to cube, unfortunately, we're going to have to basically undo all our debugging. Data. Oh, I could do this maybe. I think data's void though. I don't think we can subscript. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, let me... Sorry, one more time. Let's go back. I want to see what I'm doing here makes sense, right? That's it. Interstellar all over again. Yeah, okay, so that is valid. That is a valid pointer. I just wanted to check that accessing data this way is valid. So that's going to have all the data in. That is legit. It is cool. It is coolio. Right, okay. Done that. Unfortunately, now we're going to have to basically do this to 6 and then basically have to... We can't really debug much else. As far as I can tell. we've done everything else. We need to go into the shader now, and I don't expect anything to work, but I expect it not to crash. Cube array is different from a cube. So the cube array is like an array of cubes, if that makes sense. We just have one cube. So I don't think it's that now. Okay. So let's do render doc again and just see if we have a texture. I'll disable everything again. Sorry, I know it's a bit time consuming to do this, but it's important that I make sure I get rid of the mistakes early. These type of mistakes where I'm making like that memory mistake's been there for ages and I haven't even noticed. So so disable all this so everything's easier to look at. Oh, my nose is so itchy. And go to log, disable our logging. And yep, we've all seen this before. Go down to in here, disable the validation. I don't think I need to change the shaders. There's nothing different in the shaders. So what we're just looking for is, do we have textures now, basically, that's displayable in RenderDoc? If we don't, it's still not working. It's still not working on the upload side of things, rather than the usage side of things, if that makes sense. So yeah, that at least tells us that we still have more work to do on this particular thing. Okay, so launch application, launch, no. Okay, so capture frame immediately, close. Right, so we have here nope, we still have nothing. Okay, so that's good. That at least tells us that we're in the there's still work to do on the uploading of data. Main. Let's bring all this back. I did figure out how to use RenderDoc. We are getting closer, but as you can see, our cube texture has nothing in. And we have debugged one issue that we had with our skybox code, so we have made progress. Unfortunately, we haven't got the whole thing done yet, but I found out that I was freeing memory too early from uploading the images, so we ended up uploading nothing. Classic. Oh, did I not compile to release? Oh, I probably did. I'm gonna say yes, I did. Yes, because it would be running instantly. We would be recompiling. We wouldn't be recompiling if that was the case. Okay, cool. Okay, back to this. It runs. It doesn't crash. Let's keep going. It doesn't work though. So. Right. Cube textures. Let's keep going. The sampler. So this is something I should check. This is right at the end, but I don't know if this does anything. What is this texture? What is this thing? It is a sampler, and that has the same sampler. Okay, so it just has all that. And that's access. Yeah, so the texture, once it's been loaded, it's linked to this particular sampler. That's all we're doing there. Nothing crazy. Texture, okay. Cube map images. They do load memory. Yep. Okay, so next is, whoops, not correct. Ooh. Okay. Let's just check these textures do have alpha components in them. So they might. I wonder if I can check that out in. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be passing in a 3 and a 4. Sorry, hard coding a 4. Let's just check if I'm not already having that. Depth. No, I don't have that. But I'm assuming all textures have RGBA. Again, I'm challenging my assumptions today. There's Frogget. Got old Frogget. Does properties tell us? PNG. Let's open up. I've already got GIMP open. Let's just take this. That's the thumbnail. The super creative thumbnail. Documents. I would make a new thumbnail, but I don't think I've got anything more visually interesting yet. I'm more excited. I can't wait to have like a little spaceship thing. Maybe I'll update update everything. Make the background image look interesting than just sponsor. Nope. Go back. Game development. Where are we? Oh, we're in the. Hang on. I don't know. I think I'm in the wrong. There we go. That's what I wanted to be in. Don't know why it's taking me there. Where's game development? Huh? Yo, what? Am I tripping? Documents, Git. Where's am I blind? It's GIMP. Bruh. Oh, why is it over there? Blind. Sorry, I couldn't see it. Assets, textures. Open. Yep. Okay, so does it have alpha? Add alpha. So I don't think it has alpha in it. And I can probably confirm that quite easy. I know it worked before with one image, but if I've got multiple images and I'm saying the image size is a certain amount, I think we end up. It's very easy that we end up going wrong. So comp is channels and file desired channels. Three, 4. Does it come out with alpha channels? I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to leave it for now. No, I think I just went down a garden path. Have you ever considered different languages before you start this project? Yesterday I was researching what language... yesterday I was researching what language are used for game engine creation. It's no surprise that most engines are created with C++. I was trying to find if anyone created an engine in Rust. Sadly, I didn't find any. Could be actually considerable, yeah. So I guess C++ is the only reasonable option. No, like yeah, Ratchet said, there are other. You can use Zig, Rust. I believe any non-garbage collected language can make a game engine as fast as C++ and C. I think you're completely fine using Rust. If you know Rust really well, don't bother going to C++. you can make a fantastic Rust engine. You probably get more attention, to be honest. People would love to see that. But like I think the Bevy engine is Rust. I don't think it's relatively popular. I think I've talked to game developers who've tried to use it. But they're serial game engine hoppers. They don't stick to one game engine for like longer than one project. Python's got for game development. It's interpreted language, meaning that there's it has to interpret what you've done. It's not compiled. That's the big difference why it's slower. I think it's C under the hood, so technically it's not garbage collected when it's being interpreted, but that interpretation is a lot slower. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It has to go through has to decode what you're doing. 100%. Yeah, you can use Python for making entities and actors and stuff like that. So yeah, I encourage you, Bell, to go nuts with the language you're good at. Even if it is Python, do you need the top level performance if it is Python? But I think it's fine if you're using Rust. I definitely know there's a guy making a game engine in Zig, and that's newer, I believe, than Rust. Well, at least it's not as popular. Yeah, I believe in you, dude. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's Python's an excellent scripting language. Personally, I don't think I'm gonna make a scripting thing at all. What do I need to do here that's just not working? It's possible that my aliasing... No, we already know that. We already know it's the GPU not being uploaded. Image size. Hi Nikhil, how you doing, dude? Hope you're having a great day. Many engines will have domain-specific languages for actor scripts. Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the cost of making that versus the gain that you get from the designers being able to change entity behavior on the fly is outstretched 100%. I've just heard that if you're an indie dev, you don't really need that. If you know exactly what you're making and you're the only guy making it. But yeah, you can use Python in all sorts of things. I think there's C#'s used in all sorts of tools as well. Internal tools in game dev studios. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to share with you my little Discord server for anyone who's new watching. I'm going to put this in the chat. And you may want to join if you're interested. Anyone can join. That's just there for you. So yeah. This stream is a bit late, and I hope that was okay. I'm going to call it here, gang. Hope everyone's had a fantastic day and enjoy the stream. I've made some progress. It's not all the progress we wanted, but we're making that. We're getting there. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the day, and yeah, thanks for keeping company, guys. And anyone who liked and subscribed and commented, love you guys. Appreciate every one of you. So yeah, I'll see you soon, and yeah, bye guys. Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.